We're live.
And for those of you who don't know, Google has proven how evil it is because of how we have had a lot of trouble with Google Hangout. There, you froze up.
And there it goes again, trying to quit on me.
Well,
I'd like to give a special thanks to my dad, Stephen Cook, for helping us with this.
yay! So, before we unveil our top 5 worst complaints, we'd like to name our honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions. Hang a character because they're not necessary.
Hating a character because they were made mainly to be a love interest. Examples of this were Lola Bunny, Minnie Mouse, and Madeline from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, too.
Claiming a character has no personality.
Claiming that a character is stupid when they just act like a normal person and make mistakes and arguably stupid decisions.
And finally, hating a character for killing a character they like. And now, to the top 5. You start this one.
Number 5. Scrooge McDuck is racist and sexist because he's a rich white male duck.
Number 4, hating Pocahontas because she's used in less merchandise than the other princesses.
Hating Naveen for not being black like Tiana.
Number 2, Kiara not being a boy.
And number 1, fan theories.
Starting with number 5, hating Scrooge because he is racist and sexist because he's a rich white male. Oh, good gosh, it's gonna be a painful video.
Oy vey. Since when? Okay, since when are white ducks a race, for one thing?
And if you're talking about his feather colors, if you want to get technical, the main characters of this franchise are black.
Yeah, Minnie, Mickey, Goofy, Max, Clarabelle, they're all black.
And I guess Pluto is Chinese since he's yellow.
But okay, I mean, I understand that Scrooge is of Scottish descent, and most people over there are Caucasian. But how does him being a wealthy male who is white make him sexist and racist? That makes no sense.
Yes, and if you want to get technical, technically his girlfriend, Goldie, he is rich from digging from diamonds. She just doesn't live fabulously like Scrooge does. She lives very rustic-like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's not the only wealthy character that's that's shown in the Mickey and Friends franchise. Like a millionaire Vanderbucks, that rich gold digger that he tried to marry.
Before Goldie came out of the cake and tried to shoot his ass. But since when is being a dog a race? And just because he's white and a male, it doesn't mean that at a certain race or a certain gender are the only people who can be rich. And plus, with the whole gender thing, wouldn't they eventually get married depending on, and of course, if they meet the right person? And in Cartoon Land, that would likely be a woman. So the woman would get rich. It would just usually be, it would be by marriage, and she'd probably be accused of being a gold digger like a millionaire of Vanderbucks.
Yeah. But claiming that a character is racist and sexist just because they're a white male who's wealthy, that's very weak. And it's not like Disney is trying to make a statement that no minority character, no minority person, whether you're talking about gender or race, can be wealthy.
And if they were, they wouldn't be using a freaking duck.
No.
And how badly did you want to talk about this complaint when we started doing these videos?
Really badly. Because it's stupid.
I think that's all we have to say about this, unless you have anything else to add.
Nah, just that it's stupid and weak.
Number 4. Oh wait, I already said I already introduced the last one. You do it.
Hating Pocahontas because she's used in less merchandise than the other princesses.
Take that up with Disney, not Pocahontas. Either that or she needs a new agent.
I mean, while I can understand you wanting her used in more merchandise, that has nothing to do with with her personality as a character. I mean, like I mentioned in the Pocahontas video, Scrooge is probably used in less merchandise than most of the other secondary Mickey and Friends characters, because Disney's afraid that he's going to be a bad influence on kids because he has a harsher personality than most of the other characters. But that doesn't keep me from loving him.
Or like with Lola Bunny for me, since she's definitely not as, well, she definitely is a very big character in the Looney Tunes franchise and is the best attempt they've had at trying to reach out to a female audience, unlike other characters like Honey Petunia Pig, Melissa Doug, the Tasmanian She-Devil,
Yeah.
who until a short that I saw today I completely forgot about. But anyway, she's definitely used in a lot of less merchandise than like Bugs, Daffy. Hey, Sarah, you're freezing up again. Sarah, you there?
It tried to quit on me again.
You might want to get that checked out.
I will.
But anyway, back to the topic. Lola isn't using as much merchandise as the other big Looney Tunes, Bugs, Daffy, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And clearly, especially when you look at like the Looney Tunes the new Looney Tunes show, they don't really know what to do with her. Or I mean, they had a good idea with her, making her a strong and independent character who I love. I grew up with, and even looking back without my nostalgia on, I still think she's a genuinely good character, just not very well written. And they have done a good job keeping her personality that way with things like Baby Looney Tunes, the comics, but then they do something like what they did in the Looney Tunes show, making her a man-obsessed bimbo, and so clearly they don't know what to do with her. Sort of like with it's Scrooge a lot of the times. I heard of one movie where he was actually portrayed as an antagonist, so he's definitely very hard to figure out. Probably more difficult than Lola is. I mean, just make her the way she was before and just expand upon her. It ain't that hard. But Scrooge, I definitely can see what it's hard to balance it out. So I understand why he's not as many franchise merchandise as the rest of the characters. And I'd like to see both of them more prominent, along with Webby being more prominent. And so here's hoping if the new DuckTales reboot will be popular enough that she'll be in more merchandise along with Scrooge.
Definitely. But yeah, while I definitely understand why someone would want Pocahontas in more merchandise, speaking as an Uncle Scrooge fan who doesn't see him in a lot of merchandise, I don't really see it as a reason to hate her or like her any less.
Yeah, I've always been a Pocahontas fan. I mean, she's a well-written character. They balance out her being fun-loving and adventurous and curious like Ariel, but also give her more mature traits to help balance her out and make her more like a woman and not so much like a teenage girl. And they did a good job of making her like her historic counterpart.
Definitely.
And while I do love Anastasia, and they did capture her personality of her historic counterpart, I feel like they did do a slightly better job with Pocahontas with that because they didn't, because of the whole Dimitri thing.
Yeah.
They didn't get to show her doing much kindness. I mean, she's not what I call mean, definitely snarky, but not mean-spirited or anything. They didn't get to show the kindness of what her historical counterpart was like. I mean, her historical counterpart, of her own free will, her and her sisters actually volunteered to be nurses for her soldiers fighting for them in the war.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I'm not crazy about the Anastasia character, because while I wouldn't call her mean-spirited, pretty much all you see of her throughout the movie is her bad-mouthing Dimitri.
Though he deserves it.
Yeah, though he deserves it.
And of course, because of Dimitri, we have that bullcrap ending. And you've been cut off again. Welcome back.
I'm back.
Yep, I just said welcome back. So, I think that's all we have to say with this complaint. It's just ridiculous to hate Pocahontas or like her less just because she's not in much merchandise. Take that up with the Disney Princess franchise, whoever's in charge of that.
Yeah. That's about all we have to say. Hopefully this stupid program will quit quitting on me.
Number 3, hating Naveen for not being black like Tiana. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I know that even though Chris hates Naveen, he never put that on his hate list.
Nope, and I haven't heard this complaint even before the movie came out. So what if he's not black like Tiana? At least he's not a white guy, which people were thinking that he was going to be a white guy, but clearly he's not.
Yeah, and I never hear people complain about either of Pocahontas's love interests, John Smith or John Rolfe, being white and not Native American like she was.
Yep, and unlike a bad relationship or relationships, at least it's between two characters who are of color, not just as the typical white it means he's either Asian, black, Native American, and Hispanic, whatever. It's two completely different races of color or that are not white being together. And while I'm not a fan of a couple very much, although it's not that bad, I think it's interesting that there are two characters of color or that aren't of the same race together.
Yeah. While I can certainly understand why people dislike Naveen, he is definitely an egocentric jerk. Disliking a character because of their race is, well, racist.
Yep. I mean, I can think of many things I hate about Naveen. It wouldn't be too hard to think about them, but his race is not one of them. Although that over-the-top accent is probably a one reason, but
She done that.
they clearly made that up.
Obviously. Yeah, his voice is pretty annoying.
Though, of course, not a main reason to hate him, but there are definitely other ones.
Yeah.
His voice and race are not the main reasons why I hate him. In fact, his race is not anywhere near that.
Yeah, and I don't know I don't really think we have much else to say about this.
I guess one complaint, I guess why some people are upset about that is because there isn't much representation from Disney of a good black guy or whatever, but you do have Tiana's dad, who was killed off, so I guess that does go with the trope of the black guy being killed first.
Yeah, I mean, if you wish that she had a black prince and that there was a better representation of black men in Disney movies, I understand that, but that doesn't really have anything to do with Naveen himself.
And yeah, I think that is all we have to say about this now.
And hating Kiara because she's not a boy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Sexism on a completely new level.
Yeah, I definitely don't consider myself one of those hardcore feminists who think that Minnie is a sexist character because she was made to be Mickey's arm candy, or Scrooge is a sexist character because he's a wealthy male, but this is extremely sexist.
I guess people just assume that since it was called Lion King, that Simba's and Nala's child at the end of the first movie was a boy. And the fact that there were some books where it was a boy named I believe Copa.
Yeah, I've heard some stuff about that.
And of course, there are a lot of people who really don't like Kiara, so they probably would prefer that if the main character was Copa instead of her. But I think she's a well-done character, and I definitely hate what they did to her in The Lion Guard, making her... They went Lola Bunny on her. They made her the polar opposite of what she was, made her a stuck-up snob, who knows who she is and wants to become the future queen.
Mm.
Did
I
they-
haven't seen Lion Guard, thankfully.
Yep, and based on that, have they even seen the movie? But anyway, back to this complaint. It is sexism beyond anything. I mean, yes, there are some characters where I think that it'd work better if it was a boy or a girl. Like originally, Azula from Avatar: Last Airbender was going to be a boy, but I think she definitely works better as a female. But I see nothing wrong with Kiara being a girl, and it does work with the story. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, there are a lot of characters where they changed their gender, uh, because they thought it would work better with the other one. But disliking a character solely because you think it would work better with the other gender, that's total sexism.
Yeah, personally, I think it's interesting to see Kaa as a female in the upcoming remake of The Jungle Book.
That sounds interesting.
Especially since it's voiced by Scarlett Johansson, aka Black Widow. It'll be good. Trust in me. And I trust you've been cut off again. Welcome back.
Thank you. And that's what I think of this program.
We almost made it through 2 complaints without it glitching. So I think that's all we have for this one, unless you have anything to add.
Nah.
And finally, number 1, fan theories. We've heard a lot of fan theories, and it would probably be enough for there to be a top 10 dumbest list, but it's hard to be able to decide which one is the dumbest, so we just clump them all together.
Oh, fan theories, where do we begin?
Probably with the mini complaint. You say it, I can't take it, I can't.
Minnie and Scrooge's relationship is inappropriate because 2 people of different ages, genders, and social classes can't be friends without something going on. And of course, that also applies to Batgirl and Bruce Wayne.
How? How? Or the complaint, or the fan theory that Beast is Chip's father.
Or that he sexually abused Belle.
First of all, when the curse was casted and Chip was already born, Beast was 10 years old. He would have been a sperm himself when he was making Chip. Or the one with Grumpy saying that he secretly wanted to have sex with Snow White.
Or the one about Minnie being Max's mother.
Oy. Fan theories can be fun, but if you try to make it seem like it's a fact, then it is ridiculous. I mean, I for one think that it's likely that Anastasia Tremaine had goodness in her because her dad was good. But I call it headcanon. I don't claim to be fact, but it's fact in my head. It's what I believe, but I'm not gonna say, "Oh, it's a fact."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want to make up your own fan theories, that's fine, but don't treat them as fact and don't use them as an excuse to hate a character.
Yes, because they're just that, theories. There is no fact to it. You can't prove it. It's usually them just trying to bring adult content and sex in Disney movies. Ugh.
Bleh.
I mean, mature content, oh, okay, depending on how it's used, that's fine and good, but Disney is my escape from all of that crap. I mean, I don't mind hearing it every now and again, but it does get tiresome hearing about how dirty stuff all the time in real life, and Disney is my escape from that.
Yeah, mine too. Leave sex out of Disney.
I think that's all we have to say about that.
Yeah, I think that's all we have to say, and it looks like we finally got through the videos.
Yep, finally, after so long. And this has been fun. It's just been very, very difficult to actually get through.
Yeah, it's been fun. Hopefully we can work the glitches out and make more videos together.
Yep. Actually, I had an idea that we could do a Don Bluthing videos. Talk about how to each of his movie he's in together and blah blah blah, but let's see what happens. Hopefully
Okay.
we'll do that and it won't be this hard to get through.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes. So Google, you do not break down. You do not break down.
Stop breaking down, Google.
So the link to our past 3 videos will be in the description box below.
And the link to our personal channels will be in the description box below. Please subscribe to them if you haven't already.
And we'll try to get back to doing our character reviews, but it'll probably take a while because I have something going on in college that'll make me busy for the next 2 weeks, unfortunately.
Oh well.
So, bye and see you next time.
Bye.